Athletic Bilbao against Manchester United. First leg of the semi-final of the Europa League, and this is massive. I'm not even over-egging that in saying that this is a massive game. More so for Manchester United than Bilbao, although they could argue easily that with the final being held in Bilbao, that this is massive for them, and this is their time, their opportunity to get their hands on this trophy. They're doing well in La Liga. United are not doing well in the Premier League. There's a lot to look into this game. We're going to go through what Valverde, the manager of Bilbao, has said as well about Manchester United. United's side of it and Bilbao's side of it. What United have to look out for, what we're coming up against, and what form they're in this season, Bilbao. This is the look ahead to what is Manchester United's massive, biggest game of the season so far, and this is absolutely huge for Ruben Amorim. And looking into it from United's side, first of all, from Ruben and his perspective, this is massive news for Manchester United, because just today we have seen images and proof that Matthias de Ligt and Ahmad are both back in training and available for selection for Ruben Amorim. He has pretty much got a fully fit, full-strength squad for the biggest game in probably his career as a manager and Manchester United's season. That's the biggest news to come out of today so far. Ahmad and de Ligt both available and travelling to Bilbao tonight. That's the big news. Will he play them? Will he start them? Will they feature at all? They're questions that will probably only be answered maybe. We'll find a little bit out later on in the press conference when Ruben actually does open up on what he might pick, or I think most of the journalists will be asking if actually de Ligt or Ahmad have actually got a chance of playing in this game. So we'll see when that comes around. I think the press conference is going to be key. It is Manuel Ugarte who is possibly playing against Bilbao, because he is the one in the actual press conference with Ruben. Now, that's people look into that and say, if you're in the press conference, you're in the lineup. That's usually the way it goes. So we'll see if it is Bruno in the number 10 role and Ugarte and Casemiro. Now, Ruben did say against Bournemouth, he particularly played a very strong side when people were expecting him to play a weakened side in preparation for this Bilbao game, because Bournemouth play exactly the same way. Not exactly the same, but a very similar way to what that Bilbao do. They have got fast attacking wingers, very quick on the transition, and that's what Manchester United were up against Bournemouth at weekend, with the likes of Semenyo on one side, Kluivert on the other side, in that attack as well, with Evan Nielsen up front. Now, it is going to be a different animal altogether when we come up against Bilbao. You've got the hostile atmosphere and everything that stadium brings for Bilbao. And trust me on this one, if you haven't looked into the stats already, they are quite worrying for Manchester United. At home, Bilbao are one formidable force. Just this season alone, they have lost 2 in 20 games at Bilbao in their home stadium. And if you want an even bigger omen and worry, then all 6 games that they have played in the Europa League at home this season, they have won. So yes, 100% record in this competition. By the way, they don't concede many goals either. In them 20 games, they have conceded only more than twice in that time. So conceding more than 1 goal, literally 2 occasions in the whole season. They don't concede a lot. They've scored 41 though. So they are full of goals, a great defence, hostile atmosphere, very, very confident at home. And that's what Manchester United are up against. Valverde, the manager of Bilbao, has said he understands where Manchester United are at in the league table. It doesn't look right, it's unexpected, but we're playing one of the best teams in Europe right now. It's one of the biggest teams in Europe, not the best team in Europe, sorry, one of the biggest teams in Europe, and they can win the game at any moment. So he's under no illusion. Like, Manchester United can compete with Bilbao when it comes to Europe especially, and United have unbeaten throughout this whole campaign. They haven't lost 1 game. So that's 14 games unbeaten in Europe this season for Manchester United, home and away. So we do have a record to compete with that Bilbao one. But this is going to be Manchester United's hardest game of this competition so far. I looked at this and I seen Bilbao and I seen them being in the final, in terms of being the venue for the final, and thinking, we have to try and avoid them. But to be honest, I probably would rather play Bilbao now than in the final. So really, you've got to look at that as a bit of luck for Manchester United in a way. Because obviously, a one-off game in Bilbao, you'd expect them to be favourites. But United having that second leg at Old Trafford is huge. And I think that is where Manchester United are going to have to win this tie. So this game tomorrow night is all based around Manchester United not losing. A draw is a phenomenal result for Manchester United tomorrow. Like I said, 100% record for Bilbao. lost only 2 games all season at home, 40 plus goals scored in that time. Manchester United, just to compare to that, haven't scored that many goals in the entirety of their whole Premier League season. So it kind of gives you an idea of what we're up against tomorrow night at Bilbao. And the crowd on top of that, the hostilities, United need to be at it. Obviously, Nico Williams, a massive threat. The other massive bonus, though, for Manchester United is that Oyan Sanset, their best player, their attacking midfielder, is possibly out. Now, when you look at the games, he featured in the last game for Bilbao. He played minutes off the bench, but wasn't in training. So the reports around him not being available have all come round from Spanish media saying that he wasn't in training. The only player to not be available to Valverde was Sanset. That's the only player. He has been absolutely immense for them this season, though. His goals and his goal outputs alone, I think he's got 4 involvements alone in that position in where he plays, in and around the attacking midfield role. But you only have to look at the rest of his season as well, and his numbers tell you everything and why he's so important for Athletic Bilbao. You look at it, he's got 32 games this season, 17 goals and 3 assists. 20 goal involvements in 32 games. And if this guy is missing in this home game, United have really swam the channel. He literally is everything for Bilbao. He is their linchpin. He is their whole attack and some. And when you look at the Europa League, just for instance, the games that Bilbao dropped points in the group phase, in the league phase, there was only really the 2 games. Well, actually, when you look at it in detail here, this tells you everything. In the league phase for Bilbao, they dropped points in 3 different games. Guess who didn't play in them 3 games? Oyan Sanset. He didn't get off the bench against Ludogorets. Actually, no, they won that game. I'm sorry. They only dropped points in 2 games, but he didn't play in that game, and they only just beat Ludogorets. So you could still say that it was an under par performance for Bilbao, but he didn't feature in it. He didn't play against Roma in the first game. They drew that. He didn't feature against Besiktas, their worst defeat of the season, where they lost 4-1. That was a bad outing for them. And then, obviously, he didn't feature in the Roma game. They still won that, and that was at home. So, effectively, it shows you the 2 games that he missed away from home, they didn't win. The 1 game he missed was still at home, and they still got past Roma, who beat them away from home. He didn't feature in the first leg against Roma, which they lost in the last 16 round as well. So it kind of shows the games that they have lost this season, he hasn't been playing in. And if he's not available for them, this could be absolutely huge for Manchester United going into this game. Whereas we have got Ahmad coming back, one of our key players, and been one of our shining lights this season. They are losing their talisman, their main man, and he is that good for them. He's the reason why they're competing for the Champions League places in La Liga this season. He is the one that's putting up all of them numbers and their go-to, their penalty taker, their set-piece expert, their goal scorer. He is that good, and that missing for Manchester United is a massive bonus. Ruben won't look at that. Ruben will look at what he's got. And interesting to see how he adapts the wing-back roles in this game. Everybody's looking for Manchester United and that lineup and how they approach it. Will it be the security of having an extra defender on the right-hand side in Mazraoui and playing Dorgu on the left? I can't see it being any other way. I don't think you're going to see Luke Shaw feature in this game. I think if he can play him, I think he plays De Ligt. I'd be surprised, but I can actually see Manchester United's backline being De Ligt, Maguire and Yoro. And then we would have Mazraoui as an extra defender on the right-hand side. I think that's how he's going to play it. Dorgu on the left. I think he will sacrifice that attacking threat a little bit just to try and give that extra security, because he understands how dangerous the wingers are for Bilbao, and that, I think, is how Ruben approaches the game. Obviously, I want to get your comments in on how you see this game going. Is it too much of an ask to get a win over in Bilbao? Should we be happy with still being in the tie and then hoping that we can obviously use that Old Trafford roar again and get through this occasion like we did in the last round against Lyon? We needed that Old Trafford atmosphere in that last game, and it dragged us over the line. I think it is going to be as tight, even tighter with Bilbao. It is going to be so close to call. I don't think anyone from outside looking in can call this one because of the form of Bilbao. and the form of Manchester United in the Europa League, to go 14 games unbeaten in Europe is no mean feat. That is some achievement from Manchester United, and you cannot ignore that. And the fact that we do turn up in Europe and we have scored plenty of goals in Europe, especially in the knockout phases. Obviously, Bilbao will be looking at Manchester United's record. In the knockout phases alone, Manchester United have bagged, I think it's more than 12 goals. When you think about it, what have we got? We got... it was 5 at Old Trafford in the last round, then 2 in Lyon, so there's 7. When you look at the previous round before that, 4 at Old Trafford, 1 in Sociedad, so you're looking at 12 there. Then you've got... It has been impressive from Manchester United, including all of the goals that we scored in the league phase as well, which there was plenty. How Manchester United have gone from European form to Premier League form this season, nobody knows, and why it is so different. And I think that's why Valverde has said that you do need to watch Manchester United. They will be looking at United's European form rather than Manchester United's Premier League form. Man United's Premier League situation right now counts for nothing in the Europa League, and we've proved that. 2 different managers, unbeaten, the whole scenario and everything that's been going on. Manchester United, 14 games. If we can get that against Bilbao and get a draw out of it, United will be favourites going into that second leg. Because the only time that Bilbao have really come unstuck this season is away from home. We just need to still be in the tie, I think. I think that's a good result. A draw is definitely the best result United could probably hope for. If we get a win, then United have pulled off a real coup in that one. Let me know what you think. Drop your comments in below. Are you looking forward to the game? That's my breakdown of what I see happening. The team, like I just said then, I think that will be the back line. Quickly, just to go over it again, I would add Casemiro and Agate, and I think he's going to play Garnacho, Bruno and Højlund up front. That's just how I see him playing it. Let me know what your team would be. Drop your comments in below. Give this video a like as well. Hit that subscribe button on your screen. I'll see you all later on. Have a good one.